Thanks very much, and you are very welcome along, folks, to the sports ground for the Connacht Schools Junior A Cup Final, and we're getting ourselves ready for the action. Dexcom Stadium looking fantastic, and we are ready to go. Both teams in their huddles, Marist College and Sligo Grammar making history today as they will play in both the Junior A final and the Senior A final at the Dexcom Stadium. A remarkable achievement for both schools and something to be celebrated. Marist College and Sligo Grammar team read out. I'm Rob Murphy. On co-commentary today will be William Davis, and it is the usual style when we're commentating together. William will read out the teams.
Okay, here we go. We'll start with Marist College. 15 Philip Finan, 14 Alex Connor, 13 Dara Glennon, 12 Oisin O'Donoghue, 11 Andrew Cotton, 10 Dara Murray, 9 Owen Egan, 1 Hugh Hannon, 2 James Kelly, 3 Kieran West, 4 Peter Burke, 5 Evan Claffey, 6 Joseph McSharry, 7 John Finan and 8 Reuben Colleran. We'll deal with the substitutes as they happen because there is some confusion over that. And Sligo Grammar, 15 Kenneth Calloo, 14 Sean Cashel, 13 Kelvin Calloo, 12 Jasper Gimia, the captain, 11 Sean Duffy, 10 Luke O'Connor, 9 Matthew O'Grady, 1 Reuben Galvin, 2 Sam Carnegie, 3 Cathal Moffat, 4 Jack Kells, 5 Reese Hill, 6 Ronan Mullen, 7 Aaron Martin, 8 Alistair Hewson. Our referee is Siobhan Daly. Assistant referee 1 is Peter Gohan. Assistant referee 2 is Katie Kilban.
Thank you, William. And supporters in from both sides. The Sligo Grammar fans down to the left, the Marist fans on the right, and that will just add to the atmosphere. Bit of pressure on Marist, win the early ball. Andrew Cotton, the flyer on the left wing for the young Marist College side. The juniors of both sides. That's a knock on there. First involvement for Kenneth Calloo, who wears 20 but is very much the starting fullback. Just a jersey swap. His brother involved in the back line as well, wearing 13 and in the shape of Kelvin Calloo. Knock on there. Scrum to Marist College. These scrums can go 1.5 metres, no more than a 45 metre angle. 30 minutes a half. That should cover everything. Historic day for these two schools to achieve junior and senior double final appearance. It's something else.
It is, and of course they're also doubling up, as far as I can figure out, on the league finals as well.
Explain that in more detail in a little while, but yeah, it's incredible.
But it is. It's a fantastic achievement, and both sides will be looking for the double. But these guys will only want to win their game. That'll be their thought pattern.
Oh, what hands there from Cotton just to keep the ball alive. But in the end, the knock-on came from Marist College. It was promising rugby off the back of a scrum. Referee has called time on the clock just to allow for a bit of treatment to the very brave defender from Sligo Grammar who got stuck into the tackle there and probably played a part in forcing the knock on. But unfortunately for Sean Duffy, it's a bit of a, let's hope it's a stinger to the arm, which it can be sometimes, but he certainly took a big bang.
It's quite painful, that. Hopefully it'll pass fairly quickly for him. Yes, the third final today, another one to come, which really does show the advantage of synthetic surfaces. I doubt you would have played anything other than a senior final here on grass today, given the amount of rain. And the other one bit of great news is it's supposed to rain all day. It hasn't rained at all yet, which is unusual for Schools Cup final day. I've been here for a lot of them, and it's usually tipping down.
Yeah, that's nice. The side pitch behind the main stand here at Dexcom Stadium is dug up.
It's gone.
Construction underway. Can we call this the first steps on the new dome?
Yep, absolutely. The side pitch is gone. The Clan Terrace will be smashed down. The office block will come down. It's all going to happen fairly quickly once the season ends, and then the whole building project will get going in earnest. But this is the start point. They've even built a road in to bring materials in and stuff. I think that was the first job, and that's what's going on as we can look out on it. There are lots of seagulls around because they're probably looking for what might have been dug up that they can eat.
That's such a disappointment
for
young
him. That's
Duffy.
terrible.
And he's their goal kicker as well, I'm told. So not a good situation for Sligo Grammar at the start of this game. But our most precedent concern is the player himself, and let's wish him the best of luck. This is such a big day, and
that's very disappointing for him. It's cruel. He's walking off, but looks like an upper arm injury, maybe where he made contact in the tackle. It was a brave tackle. It needed to be, because they were being stretched.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive attack play from Marist College on that occasion. Scrum to Sligo Grammar. And these colours we're going to be seeing plenty of this afternoon, because the two teams involved in the Senior A final live on our streaming service as well. Out goes the ball from right to left, and a chance just to get hands on the ball for Kelvin Calu. And Grammar just keep it alive there. Their scrum half is Owen Egan, brother, one of 5 players in this team who has a brother playing in the senior side, which is quite the day for the families involved. Long drive down, long day in Galway. Full back is Philip Finnon. I'm told he's a great athlete, pole vaulting among his athletics involvements. Well, his speed for the long jump as well would come into play in rugby. Fortunately, on that occasion, having said all that, we set him up and he's just kicked that directly into touch. Quite the involvement though to start. He looks like he's going to be dangerous. Just needs to use the ball a little bit better there. Gives Grammar back the initiative. Yeah,
he made some good meters. It was very clever what he did, and then he just fluffed the kick. That could have been quite dangerous. Grammar a bit slow getting across to that kind of settling in period, I suppose, in this game.
Yeah, there's no harm in that. We don't have a stadium clock as I can see, William.
No, we don't. We kicked off bang on 3:30, so it's entirely at the referee's discretion.
I'll put you in charge of the
timing
for me.
I'll keep an eye on that.
Just when you look up and find there's nothing there. As Grammar attacking the short side off it, simple structured line out, and that's some good yard gainage there, 8-10 metres. That pass out, the bursting off the line to make the chop tackle on that occasion was O'Donoghue for Marist. But it's still Grammar ball inside the Marist half of the field.
This is good solid play by them. They've obviously lost a key player very early, but they've got the ball in hand now. That's good work by Marist, though. They've driven them back in that contact.
Jasper Gamina, the captain, really nice step back inside. And we will confirm the change when we get a chance here. Right to left attack for Grammar to get him moving. Matthew O'Grady is certainly getting to the breakdown and whipping those passes away as quickly as he can, just to move that back line. Gamina involved again. Calu also involved out there on the far side. And it's all Grammar at the moment. Just sustained possession in the early stages of this Junior A final. 22. Ollie Isherwood is on the left wing. The blue scrum cap, replacing the unfortunate injured player on that occasion.
Gone through about a dozen phases here. They haven't made a lot of ground, but
whistle's gone.
Yeah, that's
and really good work at the breakdown from Marist College. Gets a good reception from their supporters.
Kind of ran out of ideas a bit. There was nobody really wanting to take it on, or a little kick in over the top might have been the play. The wind that was here earlier has dropped considerably. We've already had 2 finals. We'll bring you up to date on those a little bit later on.
2, indeed.
But that was just... but they'd be happy to get through the phases, but they ran out of ideas.
We'll talk about those finals in a second, but there is a lovely spread of representation across the province today, because the Senior C final had 2 Mayo sides. The Senior B final that you were involved in commentating for Galway Bay FM there had 2 Galway sides, and here we have a side from Athlone against a side from Sligo in the Junior A and Senior A. It's something that will please those who are hoping to see the development spread across the province. Good line out from Marist College, just really good technical play. The maul is set, very tight drive, very hard to stop for Grammar. Goes to ground of its own accord, according to our referee, which is, of course, fair enough. Beautiful interplay in the centre, and suddenly the ball gets all the way out to the man on the wing, Cotton. He's supposed to be a flyer. We know Finnon can move as well, and he is taking the ball into contact. Couldn't get the offload because he was well up, but did present good ball. That's promising attack play. Really good start to this final. Both sides showing ambition, looking to use possession. And they competed well in the League A final where they drew. That's why this is doubling up as a league and cup final, because there was a decision not to play a replay for that one. Could that be a turnover for Grammar? I thought it might have been for a second, but good clear out. Then the ball pass goes out the back door, as they say. And there's a bit of tidying up to do for Marist, and they've done it well.
Yeah, they're just making a few more yards in there when they're driving off these passes than Grammar managed a little while ago. They look a little bit more dangerous.
Lovely work from Hannon, the prop forward, and has found its way out to the danger man Finnon. Doesn't have a lot of options there, so he just puts boot to ball and sees can they get in behind. Grammar need to tidy this up, and they have got back to do so. Whistle has gone. Penalty to Sligo Grammar. Sean Cashel was working hard to tidy up that situation. Looks like offside is the call. Very impressed with the quick development of Siobhan Daly in the refereeing system in the province. She has been working her way through club rugby, and I've covered a couple of games where she refed at, and she was superb. So it's great to see that kind of development. Young referees, can't get enough of them, really.
No, you can't, and it's very important. Referees in the first two games had very good games as well.
Good to hear.
It's very important. A lot of both sides in both games went at it, and a lot of respect for their opponents and respect for the referee, which we want to see.
Marist just looked a little bit more threatening there, didn't they, on their attacks?
Little bit more dynamic, but that's a good steal.
Yeah. Well, it isn't in the end. I just wanted to double check. Sorry, it is. I beg your pardon. Yes, it was a bit of a mess of a line out, and it ended up on Grammar's side. So yes, really positive for them when they needed a bit of trouble. It was their ball though, William. I'm going back over in my mind. So they ended up tidying it up and winning possession because it was from the penalty. Right to left attack for Grammar. They have plenty of numbers, but not a lot of room to work with. So it's going to take good footwork in the contact, and we're seeing a bit of that. Driven towards the touchline, but showing great strength to stay in field. That's really, really positive play there by Kalu. And the referee has spotted the ball going to ground. It is a knock on, and that is really unfortunate for Grammar, because in fairness, I really thought it was superb play from Kenneth Kalu. When he was under a lot of pressure there, it looked like he was going to get dragged into touch, and he didn't, but just at the last second maybe tried to release the ball and it's knocked on. So another little error. Marist get the ball. If you've just joined us, no score, early stages Junior A Cup final here at Dexcom Stadium.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes gone on the clock, but we did have a fairly substantial delay, so I suppose 30 minutes a half, but the referee will control that with her two assistant referees just to see how long we get, but we will have some injury time. It's taking quite a long time to organise this.
Yeah, certainly is, which just adds to the delay. Marist College have had possibly the edge just in terms of attack play has been a little bit more dynamic, as we said, but I would say possession wise 50-50 so far. Grammar maybe just haven't had as much territorial advantage, and we'll see how that plays out. These sides are evenly matched, we know this. They've reached a final for a reason, and they squared up and drew in the league final. Good scrum, has to stop at a 1.5 push, but you do get the impression that Sligo have the advantage there. Then the ball comes out and it's knocked on, and you do wonder, even in a situation with the 1.5 push where you have to stop, you can see where it can give you an advantage, because just put Marist on the back foot and then the error came from it.
Yeah, he'll be pretty annoyed with himself there. It was a very takeable pass, but it causes a little bit of pressure. It speeds up what you want to do. The ball did get trapped in. They tidied it up well, but
great work from Sligo Grammar front row there. Colin Moffat is on the tight head side. Ruben Galvin, his dad, involved in the coaching team, and Sam Carnegie make up their front row. Reset scrum. A little bit of a chat to the front rows, trying to steady things and get a set piece that will allow the game to flow a little bit better, which is often the biggest challenge of any referee's outing. Scrum half for Sligo Grammar is Matthew O'Grady. He feeds in to the Grammar pack. They have one winger to the left on the short side. Otherwise, their back line lined up. That's squirted out a bit quicker than they might have wanted. It needs to be tied up by Gamina. He does well. Marist over the ball, but can't play it at this stage, so it does mean it's Grammar ball. Nice little step back inside. Some really good work there by Moffat, who I was just talking about from the scrummaging point of view. Marist over that ball again. Their breakdown work is outstanding in these
really
early stages.
It's really high quality.
Yes.
It's the second or third time they've done it, and they did it correctly there.
Well, I was told Hewson had a total of 12 steals in the league final. He's wearing 8. I'm sure he was involved in that last one. All that said, on the next phase, Marist get caught and Grammar get their moment.
Needs something to happen for the fans. You can feel they want to get involved in this, but nothing's quite happening yet. These teams are feeling each other out. They probably know each other so well. That's a good touch finder.
Lovely touch finder. The line-out will be to Sligo Grammar, and it is the first time either side have had a platform in the 22. So
yep.
This, you feel, is a significant early moment in this contest. Cagey start. Marist College have brought a huge panel with them. Sligo Grammar always work off smaller numbers, just 270 boys in the school. It's a phenomenal achievement to produce 2 young rugby sides at junior and senior level off those numbers. Marist are doing some great stuff too. They have a second team out at junior level, which is something else. It's the first time they've ever done that competitively. Look at them at the breakdown again. It's been clean ball for Grammar. That's dived on the ground, and it's a penalty, and I think that's the right call. Yeah,
it's funny. The referee was smiling there because she knew Marist had done the right thing, but I think she knew what was going to happen.
Yeah,
which was they'd get the penalty when the next time it was played. So that's they just look a little bit more on it, Marist, but it doesn't. When it's 0-0, it doesn't mean anything, really. One
thing I hate is the first thing you start to do is to say they look bigger in the pack, but that's such a cliche. It's not about that. It's about how you operate around the field.
Absolutely.
And it's the technique and it's the technical element that they have the edge.
And the big thing is the concentration, to get it in, and if it's delayed, to concentrate. So when you have to do your stuff, you're ready.
Right, Marist have done some good things defensively, but they're going to have to get a little bit more consistent in terms of their play off their own attacks, and this is a line-out they need to win. And as we said, the game has had a few errors. There's another error. Just looked like it was a clean ball one, but it wasn't. Marist trying to counter ruck. I think we'll go back for the advantage if this isn't playable. It is playable, so on we go. Grammar ball. They wanted this a few minutes ago and they couldn't work it out for themselves. Look out for Hewson, their number 8. He's a super player. I misidentified him in the Marist jersey a few minutes ago. Forgive me for that. There's a Hewson coming up in the seniors for Marist. But yeah, Alistair Hewson, Sligo Grammar's 8, is a very, very good player at the breakdown. Back we go, because that was a bit of a mess, and we go back for the advantage.
It was a long advantage. It's one of these things in rugby. Some of the advantages in some of the internationals in the Six Nations seem to be... Are you
talking about the Irish under-20s, are you? They were very fortunate to get an advantage that day.
It's maybe something that needs to be sorted out now.
Yeah.
Having a little chat.
Certainly with a knock-on advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the penalties is a big issue as well in a separate sense, but that went a little bit beyond the usual
normal
scope. Yeah, I think so. A little bit of a chat now, and it just required captain's involvement as well. I think it was a telling off more than a chat. Oisin O'Donoghue, very capable in that centre partnership for Marist, and he's leading the side there. Reuben Colleran is the co-captain, I believe, at 8. The big lad, Reuben Colleran, brave and dynamic is what I'm told, and what I've seen so far would suggest as much. Grammar feed into the scrum on the 10 metre line, the Marist half the field. They're going to attack this short side with some nice timed passes, but that's a lot of work to ask from Calu out in the wing there. The fullback really didn't have any room to work with. It's not the first time he's ended up in a tough situation like that, and Kenneth Calu couldn't do much with it. It was a nice start to the move. Hewson popping it off to O'Grady, but no, nothing came from it.
No, the defensive line was up very quick. They were organising themselves. They were very mindful of their gaps when they were doing that, as one of the centres was making sure everybody was in the right position. Maybe a job normally the fullback would be doing, but he was doing it there, and they got across really quickly.
Okay, here we go again. Marist College this time have a clean line out. That's a good start. They've got a couple of nice mauls off line outs, which has given them a bit of a platform. Owen Egan digs it out. The centres are involved. O'Donoghue, that's Cotton coming off the wing. There's a chance for Finnon, but he's
Good scramble defence.
Yeah.
Very, very harsh. Good lines, but they made space again here if he sees it.
He has. Marist would have thought they were close to getting Grammer would have thought they were close to getting a penalty there because they're over top of that ball, but nothing came from it. And instead, it's a good carry up to the 10-metre line. Marist College, right to left attack. O'Donoghue on the ball. Penalty coming Marist College's way for a chance to break. And I think they've gone to sleep a little bit here and there could be something on. Finnan, brilliant work from him. Oh, the pass is behind the man.
Oh, they made the space there. That defence was coming across, but if that pass had gone to hand, I think it would have been nip and tuck to see who would have got to the line first.
I keep hearing about Cotton on the wing and the speed of him. He just needed the ball in his hands, but unfortunately, Dara Glennon put it behind him.
Slightly overran it.
The two Finnan brothers, John, of course, in the pack. It was him that was involved this time. At 7, he did very well. Good, quick thinking to take the penalty quickly, and it certainly had Grammer scrambling, but then execution wasn't there, which we've been saying all day is an issue. Line out throwing for Sligo Grammar today is being done by Aaron Martin. The flanker has done well. The carry then from Houston. Oh, John Finnan was over that ball and he got driven off it by Martin. Penalty against Marist, and that's a high tackle.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. We spotted this in 2 of the earlier games. If there's a high tackle, there is no advantage. The penalty is called immediately. Play is stopped immediately. There's no opportunity. It happened in one of the earlier games where a pass actually went to a winger from the player who was high tackled. He may or may not have scored, but it was called back immediately, and that's what's happened there.
Yeah. I missed that directive during the season because I have noticed in the club games, obviously the tackle area has changed for the amateur game. Yeah. But I had missed that element of it, and you're absolutely right that there isn't any leeway. It just immediately stops it. Something I like though, because it focuses the mind on what's wrong and just gets the game moving again instead of.
Yeah, of course, in the professional game it's different. You can go back for the high tackle. You will play. Well, it's very seldom it happens, but occasionally you will see an offload. And then there's a high tackle as the offload happens.
Well, poor start to the game, let's be honest.
Yeah, it is. These sides are very cagey. Both sides know each other. They're not looking to do an awful lot with the ball. You feel maybe it's like we'll see what happens at half time and we'll go then.
Yeah, just stay in the game. It was tight.
The game. Yeah.
The last time Galvin was the target at the front of the line out there, just on a short move, and that's understandable that they just want to retain possession. Ronan Mullane will carry when needed. He can play out half as well, but he's gone into contact and he's gone into a wall. Finnan again.
Yeah, they're making it quite easy. The targets for both sides of the breakdown are very static when they go in, and it's quite easy to isolate or get your hands or just stop the move. There's not a lot of dynamism so far, and it's a game that's been played between the two 22s, you would say.
Line out will be to Marist College. Halfway line exactly. Off the back of that penalty. No score.
20 minutes, just over 20 minutes on our clock. But there have been a few stops here and there.
Marist going with the more traditional hooker thrown into the line out. James Kelly. And to do it. That's a lovely line out.
It's a great line out.
Right down in front of us here in the commentary box. Maul is just charging forward. Grammar didn't initially really engage with it, but now have to, which doesn't really stop anything from Mara's perspective. Break off the side of that one. Now they try and get him moving. Backline involved. O'Donoghue, oh, that's promising from Marist. It's into the hands of Glennon, but next pass doesn't work.
It doesn't work, but both of the carriers had overrun on that. Really, they hadn't worked out the angle, so they cut back across. Again, you would feel that if it had got to the outside player, defensively it would have been a good challenge. But it didn't happen.
Marist have asked a lot of... they've created situations where they are in open territory and have an opportunity to really strike on a number of occasions and haven't done so, whereas Grammar just kind of been grinding away and staying in the contest. Maybe not as creative. All of this won't matter though, because it just takes one well executed move from Grammar and Marist will be kicking themselves for their little mistakes.
Yeah, it's it has the feeling. Well, we knew it would be tight, but it feels really tight now.
That was obviously a scrum to Marist from knock on from Grammar, but it is still work to do. O'Donoghue. Oh, this is on now with a show and goal. Tackles will have to be made. Really, really good work from the out half there, Murray. Right up to the 22. A positive gain. Not much out there right to left, so they're just cutting back inside, but that could work too. Hugo Hannon can play at 6. He can play loose head prop. He is dynamic and he's carried well there. Nothing really outside Finnan there. The fullback is going to get hit. Philip Finnan spun into contact and presented really good ball for a scrum half Egan, and that allows them to go again. There's Hannon, I should say Ruben Colleran was outside him. It didn't really work to get it to him, but Peter Burke has it now. And good carry from Peter Burke to get them back on the front foot. Who's going to score first in this game? A tight battle, lots of errors. O'Donoghue has had a lot of carries, and that's another one for him. Murray, he's using Finnan when he's outside him every time. Almost isolated there, Marist, but they got players that clear it out. Now the pick and go doesn't really work. Good defence from Grammar, determined effort.
Yeah, they've got themselves really set again in defence now. It was a bit scrappy the first 3 phases. That's an opportunity.
Yeah, Ushing O'Donoghue, he is dangerous and proving it. Murray, he has players, mix of forwards and backs. Ball comes all the way out and it's found Alex Connor from the opposite wing. He was out there and for a second he probably could see the line, but by my word, Grammar got across to make the tackles.
Great tackle. Great tackle by...
is it fullback?
Fullback, Callu.
Callu,
yeah. Wearing 20, but he's 15. That was a good stop.
Yeah, he's having
Defences are kind of on top, aren't they? They almost know what's coming. Maybe they know each other so well.
Yes, indeed. Marist, first real promising visit to the 22 there. Nothing comes from it, but they want to put pressure on the Grammar line out now, and they do. But Grammar secured the ball, but did so because it wasn't thrown straight. Good platform for the men from Athlone.
Yeah, this is a key part of the game. You feel, or key part of this half now. They've been in the 22 for a little while. They've got an attack in scrum, but they just need to be absolutely clear about what they're going to try to do, that everybody's on the same page, and maybe try to get a little bit more speed into what they're doing. It's been slightly ponderous so far by both sides. But this is a huge opportunity for Marist. They're lining up pretty much as normal, but you would think there is probably going to be at least one dummy runner coming in that.
Yeah, no one on the blindside wing. Everyone's open on the open side. Chance for a strike play. Murray had to check his run a little bit. It's O'Donoghue coming on a little loop move this time. Off the pass from Glennon. Now the second phase, what comes from it? Murray again. There's great defence from Grammar. They are showing why they are going to be hard to break down this entire game, and that is outstanding work. They've got the penalty and they've killed the attack. Yeah,
the loop move was too obvious really. It was with nobody on the blind. It obviously was somebody was going to come in as a dummy. He fed it round, but again the hard tackles coming in, and somebody might have said something there to the referee. The referee's having a little chat with the captain, and yeah, thank you. But neither side they've both convinced in defence and they've both convinced in some of the set-up play, but when it comes to actually finishing an attack, neither side has really got to the level they might expect. But it's 0-0. It's 26 minutes gone on our stopwatch here. So you take that in the first half in a tight game.
That was Alistair Hewson that was forcing the penalty there at the last one, and he's the man I was told to look out for from a Grammar point of view, because he's had 12 steals at the breakdown in the league final between these two sides. That's another line out gone astray though for Grammar. So for all the good work in defence, they are not getting a lot right in attack, and it is allowing a platform for the likes of this man who's getting more and more into it, and he is Glennon. Himself and O'Donoghue forming a fine partnership. Murray, out it comes to Burke.
Glennon might have been a bit disappointed there that there wasn't anybody right on his shoulder.
It's a really good break. It's a good point. John Finnan, he's had a fine game so far. He needs to get some support over that, and he does. So another attack from Marist, another spell in the Grammar half of the field. Kieran West with a good carry. Murray again. It's just going to be a case of move the ball on to Glennon. Glennon really does turn and present good ball every time he's tackled, and it does make things easier. Hugo Hannon, really good work from him. There's numbers here. Floated past, that could do it. It goes all the way out to Alex Connor, and Connor's going towards the line. Connor's going to get in for the try, just like that, after a stalemate of a contest. Patience from Marist and a beautiful pass from Murray out to Glennon.
Very simple try, but for the first time in the game, the defence got sucked in. They sucked themselves right in, Sligo Grammar, and great positional play to actually see that from who threw the pass. And then he realised there was nobody to stop him. He's going behind the post to make the conversion easy. But that's the first time we've seen them just concertina in. They maybe lost a bit of concentration, but there was no width in the Grammar defence and sharp passing, and that's all you need.
Alex Connor is a distant cousin of Robbie Henshaw, I'll have you know. Biddy Henshaw is an uncle of his, and he is a superb finisher in those situations. Kicking for Marist College today is Andrew Cotton, and he has added the extras. 7-0 to Marist College in this contest.
Absolutely, and I thought we were nearly going to get to half time without a score, but that was very cleverly worked. And maybe they saw that the defence wasn't set properly, and clean pair of heels, and I mean nobody got near him. He was able to get round behind the post, and that really does suggest that there was nobody out there to stop him.
Yeah, it's the pass from Murray. I mean,
yeah, clever pass.
He's wearing the Marist number 10. The famous Jack Carty wore that one time. He loves those kind of passes. Oh, that's a restart and a half for Kellu to wing. Kelvin Kellu. Game on for Grammar. All of a sudden they have a platform. Probably the first time in the game they've had a positive platform like this, and it comes straight after the try. How often do you see something like this? Cathal Moffat. That score has shook the Grammar men into life. Alistair Hewson with a carry and a brilliant platform for the men from the Northwest. Moffat's second carry in as many phases is again really good. Superb work from him so far in this game. On they go.
Big opportunity for them here now to strike back very quickly.
Carnegie with the ball. Yeah, really good. Just going to work that short side with their captain coming into the line. Gamina. Ball gets loose and it's still won by Grammar. Big pressure on the Marist College defence. They're scrambling to stop them, but this is inches now from the line. No score for how many minutes, and all of a sudden we might have two in a minute. Grammar looking to strike right back, and they have done so. Brilliant ball retention, patience, and the try comes from it in the end. The hooker in the end gets it, and that is Sam Carnegie, who had a good role to play in the lead up to it.
It's amazing how often that happens in schools rugby. That was the most how would you say, speedy, organised attack that they had. Started moving the ball quickly. There was guys running. They were passing the ball fast. It's like they just woke up.
Yeah, isn't it?
We're 7-0 down. We better get back at this, lads.
But it does all come from a brilliantly floated restart and a superb chase from Calvin.
Clever restart. I mean, we used to see a lot of that, but restarts have become this hoof it down the field job. But you can win the ball back if you've got a player who's quick enough to get there and compete for it, and he won it. And then they went through about 8 phases and they have their first try of the game.
All right. Grammar now have to strike back with the conversion as well, because it is 7 points playing 5. Well, you can make that 7 points playing 7 now. Brilliant response from Sligo Grammar, and a game that was just tight and tense. And I guess it shouldn't surprise us. The teams we felt were cancelling each other out, knowing each other so well a little bit when it was 0-0, and the second it opens up a bit, they both show they have it in their systems as well. You
get 2 scores. So, yep, that sets it up. So it's back to stalemate now, maybe, or we are close to half time. We've gone about 32 minutes on the clock. There was a long delay at the start.
That was some conversion from Ronan Mullan.
Beautiful.
He can play out half, but he's wearing 6 today. They moved him into the back row. They've kicked directly to touch because they know it's half time. That's good game situation awareness from Sligo Grammar and they are happy to go in at half time. There's no real win to speak of, won't be any particular elements in terms of advantages. They're going to the dressing room, Marist College going to a huddle for the moment at least. And we'll take a break here in our live stream. Hope you're enjoying it. But the try in the first half for Marist College coming from Alex Connor, converted by Andrew Cotton and answered within 60 seconds, William, really, pretty much.
60 or 90 at the most.
Sam Carnegie getting it and Mullen with the conversion. You couldn't really pick a winner yet, or would you suggest that Marist College still, since they had the territorial advantage, maybe have the edge, do they?
No, I don't think so. I think if they'd gone in 7-0 up, because I think then Grammar would have to do something different. But as it is, they've answered back immediately. They've shown how good they are. That was their first attack inside the 22. They had a line out which they fluffed, but from there they were immediately Marist were under pressure. They speeded it up. They played. There was players movement. There was good movement. There was options for the scrum half, options for the other passers, and they crashed over. So I would say it's even Stevens. And I think Marist will be a little bit disappointed that they give up the score, having taken the lead right on half time. But 7 each is probably a fair reflection of the first half. All
right, we hope you're enjoying our coverage. We are going to take a breath here in the commentary box, and we'll be back with you for second half coverage. But just to underline that, half time in the Junior A Schools final at Dexcom Stadium, and it is Sligo Grammar 7, Marist College 7. And it does make things easier. Hugo Hannon, really good work from him. There's numbers here. Floated past, that could do it. It goes all the way out to Alex Connor, and Connor's going towards the line. Connor's going to get in for the try, just like that, after a stalemate of a contest. Finisher in those situations. They can stop them, but this is inches now from the line. No score for how many minutes, and all of a sudden we might have 2 in a minute. Grammar looking to strike right back, and they have done so. Brilliant ball retention. 5. Well, you could make that 7 points playing. Bring us up, yeah. Underway again for the second half. And Grammar have a bit of work to do defensively. They have to get a clearance in, and they do that. I think Marist College were a little bit caught out there initially, and then the pass is loose. Marist College decided to stay out at half time. Sligo Grammar went into the dressing rooms. We're no messing around at this level, William. Not long half time breaks.
No, that was a bit longer than I was expecting, actually, but it's pretty quick. It always seems to be one side go off and one side. That's happened in all three finals.
Oh, right. Well, I'm sure that's arranged then.
Yeah.
Oh, almost a steal there for Grammar. That could have been very useful. Marist College have kind of owned the ball since Grammar kicked it to them on receiving the restart. 7 points apiece. Yes. The league final was a draw. This is doubling up for that as well.
There's 2 trophies at stake. It's gone back to the slightly less adventurous mode at the moment.
Exactly.
They just want to settle in.
It's a game of chess at times here in this contest. It exploded into life in the last few minutes of the first half. Let's see if we can get more of that. Really good carry, high tackle. Game stops immediately, as William was pointing out in the first half. It was Philip Finnan. And that will be...
You couldn't get a better day for kicking at the sports ground. There's no wind now, which is very unusual. So he's got an opportunity to get this into the 22 if he can.
The whistle went there, so I can't quite work out for sure if Finnan was just going to break the length of the field. But he certainly had broken the first tackle after the high tackle. So that's your point. There was room for an advantage. You never really quite know whether players had stopped tackling or not.
It's just something they're going to have to look at.
But
happened a couple of times in games I was watching and commentating on at the weekend, and if somebody breaks away from that and gets a pass away, you can have a score.
Yeah.
But it's immediate. Play has to stop immediately, just short of the 22. Still a good platform though. They had the ball since we've kicked off.
Touch Katie Kilban. As Mark played just outside the 22. The line out to Marist College. The throw is, again, really, really good. Good solid line out system they've got going there.
Yeah, the calling's good and they're all on the same page. It's a good drive.
Yeah, Marist College inside the 22 now and trying to add to...
They've got the penalty.
Yeah, they have an advantage. So let's see what they can get from it. Good carry from Glennon. Ball presents itself well. Referee's not happy. And it looks like a penalty against Marist, but we're going to go back for the first penalty. I think that's the best I can say. Yes.
Yeah, going back for the first penalty. I think that was for potentially trying to clear out beyond the ball. I'm not sure, but she called it very quickly.
Go to the corner is the call from the captains here. You'd wonder, were they thinking in a tight game, do they need to go for the draw or for the 3 points to try and get back in front? But no, Marist College gambling a little bit here for more. James Kelly to throw into the line out. It's been a good line out in most sections of the field, but this is always the test of your line-out system. 5 metres from the line, can you execute? Bit of movement, plenty of nerves in these moments, but it's perfect. Really, really good play from Marist. And now bursting off the side is John Finnan. He's going for the line, he spins around. That is a fine score for the men from the Midlands.
Yeah, it was noticeable he'd gone in as the receiver. Scrum half was behind him. And that's a good, clever score. But that was the plan. That was a play move. He'd gone in as the static receiver, and he took that, and he was going to be hard to stop. Got nice and low, got the ball out in front of him. Fine try.
They're using Ruben Colleran, I think, as the target in the lineouts, but it's such a good lineout. When we see, it's always interesting to contrast. Grammar have had a bit of trouble with their lineout, and you can see when it works, can really be the difference. And Finnan deserves his try. The open side flanker is quite the player. Now, kicking is Andrew Cotton. And you get the feeling every point matters in this. 7 points, plays 12 at the moment. You should get a perfect view here from our position up at the top of the Greyhound stand here at Dexcom Stadium, formerly the sports ground. Brilliantly struck by Cotton. Big cheer from the Marist College faithful. And they lead by 14 points to 7. I mean, if you take the few minutes either side of half time, I think we've got like three tries now in 8 minutes?
About that, yeah.
It's pretty good turnaround after a scoreless, tense start to the game.
Yeah, well, they've struck early. Obviously, I'm sure that's what both sides were talking about at half time, to come out and strike, get the game done or get the game moving.
Mullen has gone for a restart that isn't going to travel 10 metres. It's being won by Sligo Grammar. I don't think it did travel 10 metres, but I'm not the referee here.
From our height here, I think that was about 9.5 metres.
Yeah. It was, if he hadn't caught it, it might have just got over the line. But anyways, it is one that they've got away with. Another good carry from Grammar.
Yeah, Marist are up really quickly there again. That's great defence. They've driven them back. They've just knocked them back a few metres. They've expended 3 carries to get across the field.
Great turnover by Marist College. Absolutely superb rugby from them there. And that is a good kick down towards Grammar, and a super chase from Marist. That's the key. It's not just about the good kick. It's about the chase. It's a penalty to Grammar. A little bit too enthusiastic on it. They didn't get the reward there, Marist College, for the super breakdown work.
Yeah, it was nice play by John Finnan.
We're going with Finnan.
He made a good, solid tackle, but he wasn't. That hasn't found touch.
No, that's a big mistake, and that's going to be kicked right back at Grammar. They're really going to have to get something going in broken play now, because they're not even getting a chance to launch those set plays. Mullen carries. Marist are off their feet now. Penalty to Grammar. Spot on from the official, I think.
Yep, bang on. Didn't have to do that. No reason to. It was slow ball as it was, but a little bit of panic. And this is...
I don't know how anyone holds their composure in those moments. You see the ball? I mean,
yeah, I know.
I have sympathy for all rugby players in those split seconds. At the same time, when you're watching from the stand, sometimes you're going, what are you doing? Big chance coming from the Sligo Grammar support there.
Yeah, they were very
right behind this.
Good to hear them silent during the conversion attempt there a little while ago. It was actually deathly hush here when he was kicking that.
They'll be making more and more noise as the hours go on. 6 o'clock start for the senior final, also live on Connacht Rugby TV streaming service. Platform for Grammar, it's not perfect, but it's certainly not bad. They're inside the Marist half, trying to strike back, trailing by 7 points. Just attacking around the fringes, but I feel like Marist will have a bit of a wall there. That said, you have to ask questions before you start exploring further wide. That's what they're doing now. Meany.
He's done really well there.
Yeah, it's really good work from Gamina, I should say.
A lot of those passes were very static. They're a little bit slow at the breakdown. They're getting slower ball than they'd want.
An advantage too coming their way off a good carry from Galvin. What's the option?
The option maybe, yeah.
It's all short one out runners at the moment for them.
They're just going through. They haven't taken.
We were impressed with this man in the lead up to the try in the first half, Moffat, and we're impressed with him again. Another good 8 metre gain there off a simple carry. Don't complicate things. In comes Calu, the 2 Calu brothers combined. That looked high on Kennett. Whistle goes. Almost considered to let the play go on, but they are obviously instructed not to let the advantage go on high tackles, and that is your clearest example yet. Having said that, I think there should be possibly a warning coming Marist College's way now, because it's stopping Grammar on a really positive attack there as Kelvin and Kenneth Calu combined.
Should have a choice of penalties here as well. There should be a penalty, I think, in a better position on the far side.
Right. That's a proper warning going to O'Donoghue, and it's understandable because Grammar playing some great rugby. That high tackle based on those laws stops play, and it really penalises Grammar quite considerably, and you've called it spot on there, and our officials are very much on top of it.
Yeah,
more
And
promising
this
position.
is a much better angle to kick if he's going to kick for goal or kick for the corner.
Let's see what the call is now. Bit of a conflab going on. The ball in the hands of Matthew O'Grady, the scrum half. He's gonna. This is a tap and go. I don't know if Marist were ready for that initially. Well, they've got themselves ready now.
Ready now. That's an odd choice.
And it certainly is. A long run up before Corrigan's taken down, but he gains good yards. The Marist College probably should have stepped up a bit more to meet that, perhaps. Here goes Alistair Hewson. He just has to spin the contact and try to present the ball, but when you consider they were 10 metres further up in the previous phase, that's a bit of a loss. They need somebody to get them on the front foot, and no better man than Moffat. Grammer now. Definitely the shorter side. On the right side is the option, and Houston takes the carry. Good chop tackle on him. Oh, that ball comes loose and has to be kind of picked up. Corrigan attacks the soft shoulder there when it wasn't on to go outside, and little gains through the phases, promising signs. Contact made with Moffat, but you got to do more than that on the tight head prof, because he will get loose as he's done there. Houston, he's a danger man. Grammer are on the front foot and looking really dangerous again. They converted well the last time. Releasing the tackle is the call. A pick and go around the fringe. Corrigan doesn't get the initial charge working for him, but he certainly presented another good ball. They're over the line almost. They're stopped short. They have to recycle quickly. You don't want to get held up over the line. These situations, goal line dropout would be a net gain for Marist. Another dive at the fringe. It doesn't work, but it could be on if they spread it wide. This is the chance to attack, and he stopped short.
He just had to take that pass in slightly the wrong place, so he had to cut back inside.
Isherwood really just, he had been asked a lot there. It could be on with numbers here. Out it goes for Murray. Comes out to Kelvin Kalu. He has Kenna Kalu outside him. Marist have scrambled really well, but Kelvin gets back on the front foot. Great defence from Marist. They had absolutely no right to get back there. Somehow they rescued the situation. Now it's Kimina.
I think his brother might have a word with him, because I think he was free if he'd let the ball go.
Grammer are going over, as their fans are saying, but they don't want to get held up over the line. They have an advantage. They have the numbers. They have got in for what looks like a try, but referee hasn't seen it, so we'll have to reset. They'll go a second time. Remember, they're still playing with an advantage. This is a siege on the Marist line. It was only a matter of time, and it is a try for Sligo Grammar. There was about 6 or 7 forwards trying to get in there, but I think it's Corrigan again.
Carnegie.
Or Carnegie, sorry.
Carnegie again, yeah.
Sam Carnegie. 2 tries for Carnegie, 2 tries for Sligo Grammar, 2 tries for Marist College, and the conversion to come that should level things up.
Yeah, it was good work there. They had a really nice little overlap moving. At Callow 13 didn't see 15, his brother, but it doesn't matter now because they got the score. And the conversion to come looks as if we're going to be tied up again at 14 each. We're about 40. What are we trying to work out? How it's hard without a clock in a 30-minute game, but I think we are about 12 minutes into the second half, so we're about 42 minutes out of a 60-minute game. That's us.
Conversion from Mullen. He's just snuck that in. They had to have a long look at themselves.
14 each.
14 points each.
Alter.
Carnegie's try, Mullen's conversion. We said that in the first half. We're saying that again. And it's 14 points apiece, both sides. Asking questions. Marist College with the try just after half time.
It does kind of feel that Sligo have maybe better options when they're in the 22 in terms of physical power. They've got over for those 2 tries really well once they've actually got into that phase of just recycling the ball and moving it. But it's so tight you couldn't determine where this is going to go at all.
Grammer received the ball and kick it straight back.
Kick it straight back into touch. A good kick too. He's got it up past the 10-metre line. He's got it nearly halfway to the halfway line, so it's about 5 metres inside their own half. Good kicks, good clearance kick. It's so still here, it's just unusual.
Just recap the scores for us there, William, on the
Okay.
Marist side, if you could.
I will do.
Marist College have won the ball. I'll let you do that in the next break and play, if that's
Will
all
do.
right.
I'll be ready.
14 points each. And just a reminder to listeners that it started slowly, but it's exploded into life now. O'Donoghue with the carry and the layoff to Glennon. Ball out, Finnan. Fullback, Philip Finnan. His brother John also playing really well. Brilliant from Sligo Grammar initially to get over the ball, but then he's off his feet. Houston just not getting the change on that one, and that'll be disappointing. And this time, Marist College may be aware of how this game is panning out and how every point is going to matter. Immediately say we'll go for the kick. It's their kicker who made that call as well, Andrew Cotton. And why not have a shot at the post in a tight contest?
So 28th minute, Alex Connor was in for a try for Marist, converted by Cotton. And then we had the first of Carnegie's 2 tries, which was converted beautifully from way out by Mullen. That was 7 each at half time. And then we had 33rd minute try by Finan, and that was converted by Cotton. That's early into the second half, 30-minute halves here. So that was 14-7. And then Carnegie in, converted by Mullen, 14 each.
All right. Okay. 30 minutes a half, don't forget, folks. So as we tick over towards the final 15 minutes of the game, you get the feeling this is going to be one of those significant moments. Andrew Cotton has beautifully struck that over. He's 3 from 3 today in his goal kicking, and he has edged Marist College back in front. 17-14. If you like rugby stories where teams come up against each other and there's not a huge amount between them, then this is one for you. Contrasting styles, maybe a little bit, but in terms of knowing each other and having the answers to the questions being asked, well, we're seeing plenty of that. It's a cracking battle now after a very slow start. The man who kicked the 3 points there is Cotton, and he's received a restart. Well tackled by Grammar, but some of the Grammar carries were superb in the lead up to that. Now it's a chance for Kieran West. He has been a good dynamic ball carrier for Marist when they needed him. At the base, Owen Egan, right foot, a kick downfield, and the whistle's gone. Is it injury or is there a penalty? We'll see.
Yeah, whistle went very, very sharply there.
Yeah, it might be something in terms of discipline for talking back. There's no messing here in this situation. Cathal Moffat is the man in trouble.
His captain's there with him. And I think the warning's very simple. If that happens again, somebody will be going off for 10 minutes.
Gimena is going to have to. Gimena, the captain's going to have to speak to his whole team as well as Moffat. But that's going to be just a penalty for Marist College from that position.
I actually lost track of where that ball went. I think it went deep into the 22. It was actually a very good kick from Cotton.
Right.
Okay, we're off again.
And it is the closing stages of a critical game. Just about 12 minutes left then, and a chance for Marist College. If they get 2 scores ahead, you'd feel that's enough. But there's a bit of work to do that. They've got a great platform here just outside the 22. And in fairness, they have been very strong in the line-out all day. James Kelly throwing in. Who's the target? He has plenty of options. Movement is going towards the back. Referee's not happy with all that, and we're going to get a reset.
I think the gap was starting to close. They've got more complicated as the game has gone on. There was a lot of shifting around there.
I'm not sure Grammar are throwing up too much of a defence
no,
on them.
No, they're
so
not. They seem to want to
just stop them all.
Them all.
But we'll see. Maybe now they'll sense there's an opportunity here because Marist were a little bit more ponderous. And as I say that, look at that for a solution. Throw it to the front.
Yeah, Hugo Hannum took that really comfortably.
Yeah, I told you he can play in the back row. He's a good line-out operator as well. And here's that Marist College moral, which is good. Grammar come through. They've changed their position. I would have thought it is a penalty.
Yeah.
Well refereed.
You can't do that.
Out it comes. College are going to try and make something of it. Marist in the Grammar 22 now, with an advantage. Whistle goes. We'll go back for the original penalty. 3 more points. Kick to the corner. What are the options coming towards the final 10 minutes of a 60-minute contest?
The line-out is working so well, I think I'd go to the corner.
Bit of discussion going on. Andrew Cotton has the ball in his hands, and it looks like he is going to set up that Marist College line-out, especially since their line-out maul has been so good, and they've scored from a 5-metre line-out already in the game.
They have, and the thing about that is that Sligo, that was a silly penalty to give away. It's very difficult, but when you drive a player back, you can't just run up and tackle him, which is what they did. And this has given them a great opportunity. Now they're 3 points ahead, but this is an opportunity to maybe extend that to a winning lead.
The catch, the ball is dropped. Oh, fine margins. And the pressure comes on. And it's not even a case that this line-out hasn't succeeded under pressure. It has on a number of occasions, but that's a rare mistake for the Marist College line-out. And it's a big opportunity for Grammar to get themselves out of trouble. Mullen in the out-half position pretty much now for these situations, gets the ball downfield, but a counter-attacking situation for Marist College is on. I think they've made a change out there. I'll make a confirmation in a second, but I wonder, was that Jacob Burke on the ball? I'm expecting to see him on the wing at some point. You get the binoculars out there, William, and I'll inform our listeners and watchers that is, if you haven't spotted it, a line out to Grammar. Inside their own 22, trailing by 3 points. They've got a bit of work to do. We're into the final 10 minutes. It's a win in possession when it was critical for Sligo Grammar. Now they have to find some magic here. Maybe just get back to the basics, which has served them well when they've attacked, but they're so far down the field. You can only use the one-out runner so many times. Here's Moffat. There's an advantage for a penalty, so Marist College discipline lets them down a little bit, I think.
Yeah, again, that's just sloppy, a little bit of tiredness, bit of concentration, because you had them trapped in there and nothing was really moving. Just trying to pick up these numbers. All I'm seeing...
No, I think there's no change there.
No, all I'm seeing is the same number. We haven't had... the substitutes have not been busy in this game, apart from the early change when...
the injury happened, to Sligo Grammar's winger Sean Duffy, who usually does the goal kick as well for him, and that's what led to Ollie Isherwood coming on. He's the blue scrum cap on the left wing. 17 points to 14. Marist College scored first with a beautiful try from Andrew Connor, but they were immediately on the back foot. Great carries from the likes of Moffat and Hewson, and a brilliant finish by Sam Carnegie, converted by Mullen. And then in the second half again, Marist College scored, this time a catch and drive and a brilliant break off the side from John Finnan. And yet, after Cotton converted it, it was Grammar who got back on the front foot. More great carries from the forwards. Again, it was Carnegie who got in for the try. Mullen got the conversion, but the difference between the sides is that Andrew Cotton penalty that came just a few minutes ago. We have a long stoppage. We'll have plenty of additional time as a result of that. More chats with captains.
Yeah, I'd say we're about maybe 6 minutes left on our clock, but there have been some significant stoppages. Although at half time they didn't add on maybe more than 2 minutes.
No, they certainly didn't, despite that injury.
Just waiting for this player to be checked out here, so we're not going to restart it. I think he's getting a bit of a massage on his... Yeah, the referee's coming over now to see how he's doing. Probably just wants to get it moving again. This is when you have to keep switched on when you're on the field. You don't want to be daydreaming. And this is two and a half minutes maybe that we haven't done anything, but you won't be at it, because a score now either way could be the winning and losing of this one.
So many of these Schools Cup finals, yes, the teams will always have met in the league, but there'll be a certain amount of figuring each other out and maybe be getting caught out by certain elements. But these sides, it's like they've done video analysis on themselves, and that's not the case necessarily. It's more a case of they've just met so many times and they know what to expect. It's been tense and tight at times. 17-14 isn't exactly low scoring. We've had some great moments, and I'll tell you, there'll be some moment if Grammar managed to turn this around. Otherwise, Marist College
I'll just catch you up with the earlier results because I said I was going to do that in the first half.
Do it.
Senior B, Colossia Ballyclare 27, Presentation Athenry 36. So that was the Galway bragging rights. And then in Senior C, St Gerard's Castlebar 53, Rice College Westport 27. That's the Mayo bragging rights. 2 cracking games.
Oh, that's a line-out steal for Marist College, and that's front football like nothing they've had for quite some time. Really, really positive attack there from Hannon, but it was a mistake that got them on the front foot. Glennon, nothing spectacular, just effective carries throughout the game. Numbers on the right here for Marist College. No better man to get it out to one of the try scorers already, John Finnan, who straightens the line, gets back inside 2 defenders, and he's shrugging off tackles, and he's a hard stop.
He really is. That's hard work. That's brilliant footwork. Changing direction
class.
All the time.
What a star he's been today. Murray as well. Is this it for Marist College? Is this the moment where they get 2 scores ahead and perhaps even seal the victory? No, is the answer. Grammar get in over the ball again
yeah,
and they are still alive.
Very much they're alive,
Brilliant.
but they need to get up the other end of the field. Yeah, again, maybe not quite asking enough questions. Marist there are just keeping it fairly conservative, but they're leading. They're in a cup final. They're 3 points ahead. We haven't got a lot of time left.
It's a great touch finder.
Ooh, that kick actually...
No, it's not in the end.
It's actually still inside the 22.
Yeah.
It came off the toe of his boot, and that's not where they want to be. They were hoping, I suppose, to be up closer to the 10-metre line.
Sligo Grammar's last junior cup title. You have to go back to 2008 when they beat Marist College. Marist College have had a lot of success at this level since. They won in 2022. They also had victories in 2018, 2016, 2013. Looking to add to that great success in the junior grade. Summerhill College of Sligo won it last year. Just pipped in the semi-finals this time. That's better from Grammar. They got the brilliant turnover. Yes, the touch finder wasn't great, but they still secured possession from the line out. And Houston Sands scrum cap is carrying the ball really well there.
Defensive line resetting very, very well. Going to have to try to get some. Had to force the pass.
Jimena has a big job to do there. He's done well.
He has done well. He's had a good, solid game. He's tidied up a lot of scrappy ball at times.
Well, on we go. It's a big ask for Grammar. They have to go most of the field here now if they're going to turn this one around.
Yeah, there's about maybe 2 minutes of normal time left.
Well,
plus
should have,
whatever
yeah.
is added
You'd like
on.
to think there'd be 3 or so extra at least. They're attacking the short sides. Really opportunity for them to move it. First of all, it's Calvin Kalu. But Wynnum is the fullback Kennett. He's held up in the contact. He needs a bit of help and he gets it. Grammar makes some yards up to halfway, but they were slowed down there. Carnegie, 2 tries on the board already. Good carry from him. Base of this is Matthew O'Grady. Sligo Grammar searching, probing, looking for the big moment. This could be the big moment. Really good from Galvin. Ruben Galvin presents perfect ball there for O'Grady. This has been quite the attack since that line out. They're up to the 10-metre line now. Marist College have a lot of work to do in defence because Grammar aren't going to give this up easily. Carnegie again.
Good running, brilliant running, great line. Was there for the pass.
Only a matter of time before they start bringing Moffat back into these attacks as well. Over the ball at Marist College, almost with the turnover. Not to be. Clear it was good enough in the end. O'Grady, that's dropped. He was under pressure. A good bit of counter-rucking from Marist College probably played a key part in that. And it's forced to knock on. The scrum will be to Marist College, who are making 2 changes now. Oh, that's a big moment after such a spell of play from Grammar.
They got from a great piece of work, a poor line out, poor kick to touch, got themselves up and were within 10 metres of the 22. But it was a good piece of counter-rucking, as you say, Rob, and it just hit his hands rather than him getting in to get it.
Kieran West has gone off. A couple of changes here. I think Brian Rourke is on. I think there was a change in the second row as well. Might have been Claffey who went off there. A nice reception from the Marist College crowd. West carried very well today. It's not Claffey, I still see him there. confirm the other change in a second. Scrum. This could be close enough to the last play now. We probably have a couple more minutes than that, but what do Marist College do here, William?
Well, I think it's do Sligo try to put a bit of pressure on the scrum, or do they just go for allow the play? They've still got a player down, actually, Grammer. He's just been attended to. It's one of the Calu brothers, 13. He's up now.
Jimmy Walsh was a player I was told to look out for coming on at some point, and he is on. He's wearing 16, but he's in the, I'm going to say blindside flanker position, because it's slightly to the right. So he's on. There does seem to be a change in the hooker position as well.
Accuracy is key for both sides, but particularly for Marist here. They're still in a tricky spot. They don't want to give away anything in this part of the field. They're being driven back a little bit there. 20 minutes now. It's good pick up.
Yeah. And Egan, that's a nice switch of the attack lines, Murray. And why not bring in Finnan? He's thrown to the ground, but he's got himself back up, Philip Finnan. He's on the front foot again. Brilliant from him. Brilliant from Marist College. That was a major carry that they needed at that point in time. Now it's their captain, Ruben Colleran. It's another good carry from Marist College. 2 phases, 20 metres gained cumulatively. John Finnan.
Yeah, he has been immense in this second half for them. Absolutely. That's a great carry. They've got themselves on the front foot now. And you feel that they're in the position to close this game out from here.
They just need to be careful with possession. O'Donoghue with the carry. They've been on the front foot looking like they were going to close it out a few times. I think Finnan, is he injured? That's John Finnan.
He is, yeah.
So
we're stopping
game stops. Just make sure he's okay and you'll get the treatment needed. That'll be a scrum to Marist College.
Ref.
Well, the senior final isn't on until 6 o'clock, so they've left plenty of time between the finals for games to overrun a little bit. 30 minutes a half in this one, just in case you need reminding. So we are into injury time.
About 32 minutes in, I think.
Yeah, so the referee's discretion from this point. This looks like...
Yeah, she's just signalled to Peter Gohan on the far wing there. He's obviously her double time person.
Which is important.
To stop his watch.
Such old school. It's a pity we couldn't have the stadium clock with it, but nice little test for the officials.
Nice little test for us.
Yeah, well, no one feels sorry for us with him.
No.
Just need to get on with it. Brian Rourke is in the scrum there. As I said, there are the 2 changes. No changes from Grammar as of yet. I was told coming into this they have 7 players under 15 coming back again next year, and 2 players in the panel today, 14 years of age. They have 2 seasons at junior still. Remarkable work from a small pick, but they're trailing here by 3, and it's Marist College in control of possession. It's a brilliant O'Donoghue's had a fine game. He has Murray outside him, and that is the crowning glory for Marist College Athlone. They are going to win yet another Schools Junior Cup. Grammar have fought the brave fight, but that was a brilliant way to underline a victory. O'Donoghue, Oisín O'Donoghue, he made that.
Certainly did. That was nicely taken. It looked very promising the minute they picked it up. And Sligo Grammar School a little bit disjointed in defence there, but that was excellent work. And the game is done now. They lead 22-14, but Cotton will have the chance to convert. And at that stage, maybe the referee will decide that is time for the day.
Had Sligo Grammar won today, they could have moved on to 8 titles joint with Marist College, but as it is, Marist College will move to 9 titles, just 1 behind the Bish on 10. A little bit behind Garbally College, around 43 at the moment.
Cough.
Yes, indeed. No worries about that.
I thought you were going to say the Bish were leading.
Cotton's conversion is missed, but it's academic. It's a 2-score lead, and it's even more academic because it is full time here at Dexcom Stadium. Marist College 22, Sligo Grammar 14. These 2 sides drew the league final. There was very little between them today, but 3 tries to 2. And a big margin in the end.
They just looked a little bit more dynamic right through Marist, and I think that counted for them. They seized their opportunities. They were never led, and Sligo will reflect on that. And it was a great final. really enjoyable game, played in a great spirit, and it sets up the A final now, because Marist will be looking for a double.
And immediately after an understandable spell of jumping around and celebrating, Marist College regrouped to make sure they went and commiserated with the grammar players who were on their knees and picking themselves up now, as you would expect, heartbroken after a long campaign and a massive effort. These are two schools that are more than pulling their weight when it comes to developing young rugby players in the west of Ireland. And sometimes on the day, one team wins, one team loses, but it doesn't undo any of the brilliant work that's been going on in both schools.
No, you could play this game tomorrow and you might have a different result, and that's sport. They are producing really high quality players, a lot of skills. Better in the second half. First half was a bit edgy, a bit nervous. But once the players actually got at it in the second half, we saw some very good skills on both sides. But it's always tough to lose a game like this. Sligo will they'll go and look at it, I'm sure. They'll review it, they'll look at it. It's great they've got so many players coming back. Some of them are coming back for 2 seasons at this level, which suggests that they are getting players through. But and they're all coming to shake hands with the referee as well, which I like to see. I thought she did a good game.
So yeah, going over to greet their fans are the Marist College players. They'll be getting the trophy in front of the Clan Terrace.
They certainly will. They certainly will be getting the trophy in front of the Clan Terrace.
Look at that shot. Well, there's the photographs. That'll be popping up on the Connacht Rugby website and around the newspapers in Athlone, and plenty of interest, both Roscommon and Westmeath, and nationally as well. Marist College will be hoping for the double today, William.
They certainly will. They certainly will. It'll be an interesting one for them. Oh, coach is just about to get, or somebody in the team management is just about to get a lot of water poured on him. That's great celebration. Of course, it's slightly different to the other side of the ground. Sligo are pulling themselves into a circle now to have a bit of a chat. I think they can be proud of their effort today.
I think so too. There's a brilliant coaching team on the Marist side. Mick Loftus, Tony Dolan, Conor Galvin. But same goes for Grammar, who have Simon Galvin and Jimmy Staunton, 2 great names in rugby in the Northwest, who have put so much effort in. They were so keen to highlight in the lead up to this, that point I was making about how many of these young players are going to be coming back again next year, and I think that was one point that was being emphasised to me. And you know, the other is just like what it takes kind of like in that school. I mean, the amount of time they put into rugby and the team that they've produced here, maybe against the odds, they do find it tough at junior level. It's 2008 since they last won it. But they'll be hoping this is a building block maybe for another junior title. They missed out this year, maybe next year they come back stronger. And
then coming through into senior. Yeah, a word as well for our officials here. Siobhan Daly, referee.
Yes.
Peter Gaughan, Katie Kilban, ran the game nicely.
Yeah,
quick,
agreed.
Fast decisions, told us what was going on. And Siobhan Daly, when necessary, got her message across very succinctly a couple of times. But played in a great spirit, very clean. Delighted to see that all kicks were respected. There was no booing, whistling, which sometimes mars school's final day a little bit. It can get a bit messy. But
lovely reception from the Sligo Grammar faithful there for their young comrades.
Absolutely. Their senior team will probably be here now, probably in the dressing room, getting ready for kick-off, which is about 70 minutes away.
I was just thinking to myself, for those Marist College lads, like they'll go into the dressing room, they'll celebrate, and they get to walk out on the terrace and watch their fellow schoolmates in action in the senior final. It's a great day for both schools from that perspective, but it's going to be some experience for Marist.
Oh, it absolutely is. They've got a couple of the players are over there now with the Marist fans.
Yes.
I think they are outnumbered, Marist, by Sligo Grammar fans, although that has thinned out a bit. People going to get teas and coffees and then come back in for the main event under the lights. It's going to be spectacular. I hope it's a really good game. I expect it will be. It's a first to play the game under lights. And of course, 2 cups coming. As we're into the speeches and the introductions over there.
Might see if we can pick those speeches up for you. I know some of you at home will be linked to the players in Marist College. So we're just going to see can we listen.
Without the assistance of Connacht Rugby here at the Dexcom Stadium. So it's a great pleasure and a privilege to play out there for all three young men today. And thank you to Connacht Rugby for making Dexcom Stadium available. I'd like to pay tribute to the coaching staff of both sides. For Sligo Grammar, in particular Simon Galvin and Jimmy Staunton. Today wasn't your day, guys, but you've been here before, and I'm sure you'll be here again. And I want to congratulate you on producing the point side. And the game was in the balance until the last play there. So all credit to Sligo Grammar. Well done on your effort. To Marist, congratulations. Today was your day. It's a great honour to win the Junior A Cup, and it's a day you won't forget for quite a time. And I'd like to pay tribute to Nick Loftus, Tony Dolan, we can't do any games without officials. Very important part of our game. And today we had an excellent team led by Siobhan Daly, who did an excellent job as referee. Peter Goffin as touch judge, Katie Gilvan and Michael Good as sport official. Thank you very much, everybody. We have medals, commemorative medals for the refereeing team. If you'd like to come forward, Siobhan. Peter. Katie. Next up, I'd like to call on the captain of the grammar school, Jasper Yamina. Thank you, Jasper. Sean Cashin. Alison Kelly. Sean Look. Luke Carter, Patrick Freeman, Ruben Galvin, Sam Bernini, Otto Walker, Jack Ellis, Reese Hill, Ronan Mullen, Aaron Martin, Alison Gibson, Aaron Livingston, Ed Barrett, Gareth Horn, Tristan Kelly, James William, Harry, Ollie, and Shane Berta. Thank you, Jasper. At this stage, it is the turn of Marist College and their captain, Oisin O'Donoghue. We'll call out your panel, Oisin. You want to say something first?
Hard up, sorry, grammar. There was some game in the big final just looking at it. Trying to get you easy here. Sure, hit praise for sorry, grammar. Thanks, coaches. Nick, Tony, these guys who pull us up to some training here. Jeez, I know. Give us some fun anyway. Thanks, all guys. Number 1 is Hugo Hannett. Jenny Kelly. West. Theodore. And Gabby. Joseph Sherry.
folks. We'll wrap it there, but we just said we'll leave you with a chance to enjoy the celebrations for those of you who've tuned in on our stream, rooting for Marist College. We're going to take a little bit of a break, William, but final word on the junior champions, Marist College, adding to a great record over the last few years. It is, if you take in that role of honour for the last decade, half their titles have come in the last 10 years.
Yeah, they were very impressive today. They were never headed. They scored and Sligo Grammar came back straight away twice, but at the end they were just a little bit too good. They took their chances, and it's a great position for them to be in, and it sets them up now for the double. For Sligo, a little bit disappointed, I would think. But they just a little bit more accuracy and a little bit better cohesion at times was more than enough to get Marist over the line.
Huge congratulations to everyone involved in Marist College junior side. If you want some more rugby, and as William said, under lights, it's going to be a thriller. Two best school sides in the west of Ireland meet at 6 o'clock live here. Myself and William will be back for that, but that's it from us. Final score 22 points for Marist College, 14 for Sligo Grammar. Things easier. Hugo Hannon, really good work from him. There's numbers here, floated past, that could do it. It goes all the way out to Alex Connor, and Connor's going towards the line. Connor's going to get in for the try, just like that, after a stalemate of a contest. He is a superb finisher in those situations, trying to stop them, but this is inches now from the line. No score for how many minutes, and all of a sudden we might have two in a minute. Grammar looking to strike right back, and they have done so. Brilliant ball retention. Have to strike back with the conversion as well, because it is 7 points playing 5. Well, you can make that 7 points. The movement, the nerves in these moments, but it's perfect. Really, really good play from Marist. And now bursting off the side is John Finnan. He's going for the line, he spins around. That is a fine score for the men from the Midlands. Brilliantly struck by Cotton. Big cheer from the Marist. But referee hasn't seen it, so we'll have to reset. They'll go a second time. Remember, they're still playing with an advantage. This is a siege on the Marist line. It was only a matter of time, and it is a try for Sligo Grammar.
That's us.
Conversion from Mullen. He's just snuck that in. Cotton has beautifully struck that over. He's 3 from 3. They're trailing here by 3, and it's Marist College in control of possession. It's a brilliant O'Donoghue who's had a fine game. He has Murray outside him, and that is the crowning glory for Marist College at Lone. They are going to win. It's even more academic because it is full time here at Dexcom Stadium. Marist College 22, Sligo Grammar 14. These two sides drew the league final. There was very little between them today, but 3 tries to 2. They big margin in the end.
They just looked a little bit more dynamic right through Marist, and I think that counted for them. They seized their opportunities.